Hey yo, if you're new here, hi, my name is Marta, I'm 23 years old and I'm from Spain. I live in Spain because life is pain. Happy Halloween everyone. I'm Demon, I guess, I don't know. I bought this and this do not fit me. Like, look at this. What kind of head do you have to have? Like, I have a big head, so I'm not going to judge. Anyways, today, because it's Halloween, it's not Halloween, but Halloween is coming and I love Halloween. I love fall, is my favorite season. I think Halloween is my favorite holiday. Although I don't really enjoy terror, I don't watch horror movies because I cannot then sleep at night and I like sleeping, so I don't watch terror. However, I do love spooky things, Halloween themed episodes of shows. I love that. And the best one that I've ever watched, and I'm not kidding, like this is the best Halloween themed episode I've ever watched, is from a Spanish show. And I have to say my favorite sitcom is Superstore. If you haven't watched that, go watch it because it's amazing. And I do think the best episodes are the Halloween specials, and it's in each seasons. I think those are the best, but this one is like so cool. This show is probably the best Spanish show ever, and this is a comedy. This is about neighbors. Just it's a building with 3 floors and it's like 2 apartments in each floor. Then the doorman, is that what it's called? And then next to the building there's like a store. This Halloween episode, season 1, the only Halloween episode they have, which I'm mad about because it's so good, and I'm going to tell you guys what it's about. The show, it's called Aquí no hay quien viva. I don't really know how to translate it because it's like it's unbearable living here. I guess that's the closest thing I can get. The store downstairs with Halloween theme, and they're talking about Halloween, they're talking about movies, and then these old ladies, best characters of the show, by the way, probably the best characters.
¿Pero de qué habéis decorado esto?
¿Qué es? ¿Tu cumpleaños?
And they start talking about this girl, this family really, that died in the attic. In the attic, no one lives there in the first seasons, then people start living there in further seasons, but in the first season no one lives there. And so she tells them there were a family, they died there, and now the little kid, like the girl, some people can hear her screaming and stuff. She's not trying to scare them, she's just telling the story. Like, this is common knowledge among people who have lived here for a long time, so these people didn't know because they haven't lived there as long as them. They get freaked out.
Ay, coño, con la boca esta que se toma.
And so because the store is, I don't know what's the name of it, it's like you rent movies, you know what I mean? The guy who works there loves movies a lot, and he wants to be a movie director, so he came up with the idea of filming a horror movie within the neighbors, but not telling them. Like, it's just them who knows it, who knows what they're doing, and so they try to get the real reactions of them. They're not trying to prank them or anything. It's like they want to film sort of a documentary of how people would react to these things, kind of. Like, they don't want actors.
Es que es el cinema verité, el cine ojo que decía Bertó.
So I think we have to note, I'm not saying any names, by the way, and this guy, the filmmaker, Paco, and then Emilio is the doorman, and he's like the main character of this movie. And this one is Paloma. Paloma, it's one of the best characters of the show as well, but it's so sad because they get rid of her in like season 2, I believe, and it's like, I think she just left, like the actress, I think she left. In this episode, it's great because she gets so scared.
Nos miran. ¿Quién nos mira? ¿Quién? Los muertos.
Her kid, Jose Miguel, I didn't remember the name. Jose Miguel is also one of them people who know what's going on, so he's also like doing the stuff. That dynamic, it's so funny because it's like he's inside the house with her, she's freaking out.
¡Tíramela bien!
La muñeca, Juan. Niña.
¿Qué muñeca? ¿Qué dices?
Ay, estaba aquí, Juan.
but her husband, Juan, I was gonna say the actor's name, he's the skeptic type of character in these horror movies. He's like, there's nothing wrong, this is just your imagination, whatever. So it's an interesting dynamic, because it's like she's freaking out from the start, and he's like, there's no way this is real.
Que aquí vive entre nosotros una familia de muertos. Pues entonces que paguen la comunidad.
And also the old ladies are super funny as well, like they try to trick them too.
Coño, qué pronto has vuelto.
And they really freak out, and they just call all of the neighbors, because some of them are not really in this plot, again, because they had like their relationship plot, so they didn't include them in this. It gets to a point where they include everyone, and for some of them they haven't seen anything, because it's like they're not targeting them.
A mí no me importa nada, pero estamos haciendo el ridículo.
So it's like they're like in the neighbors meeting, like, what is going on right now? Like,
¿Una mancha?
No, es una cara, es papá.
Pues si yo no digo que no puedas tener un aire, Vicenta, pero...
they want to hire an exorcist, and they're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I haven't seen anything at all. What are you saying? There's a ghost in the attic.
Pero esto es una broma, ¿no?
Habéis adelantado el Día de los Inocentes.
Like, imagine if this could actually happen. I think that's why I really like it, because it's like a horror movie, but it's kind of a parody, and it's like something that can really, really happen. Just someone kind of pranking. It's not a prank, but someone that's like plotting against the neighbors just because they want to have fun and make a movie and whatever, and so they use all the elements of horror movies, and because we've seen so many, you'll totally believe it and just be really freak out like by these things. You'll be like, I've seen this before, I've seen this in a movie, and it ends terrible, so I don't want to be this person now. Like, it's so funny.
¡Corre, un espíritu!
Si soy yo, que me estoy calentando leche.
Me quiero ir a mi casa.
¿Qué quieres de nosotros?
Pero no hables con ella.
And it's just, it's so real, it's so funny. It gets to a point where they obviously get caught. They don't really get caught, because the three old ladies and this Paloma, the mom of the kid, they're really invested in this situation, and they really want to figure out what's happening. They really freak out about everything.
Esconde la cámara, que vienen las cazafantasmas.
But then there's the men who are not really sure if this is real, but they get also, eventually they get so scared that they're like, okay, we need to do something about this, like, we can have this. So they also start like this there's exorcist, and then the exorcist is like a fake, and they just get so paranoid with everything, and just, it's so funny, man. It's such a good episode. You have to watch this show entirely. I swear, like, this is so good. And then in the end, he ends up, like, the filmmaker, he ends up saying, okay, this was just a movie, this is the best thing I've ever done. Like, they get confused because they're a new little girl that they don't know about. It's like someone's kid, and they've never seen her before, and they think that she's the ghost, and it's like, it's the miscommunication between everyone in this show. Like, no one communicates properly, between people who are lying, people who are not believing enough, people who are getting so paranoid that they believe in too much. Like, it's so funny. It's so funny. I cannot explain how funny this is. Then the exorcist is like trying to live in the attic, like trying to stay there forever, and it's like he doesn't want to pay.
Y he encontrado un exorcista que parece serio. También da clases de matemáticas.
It's insane. This show is so unhinged, and it's so funny. You have to watch the whole thing. If you can find it in your language or subtitled to English or something, watch the whole show. I promise you, it's worth it a lot. But if you don't really have it, or if you don't want to watch the whole show, I will really advise you to watch this specific episode, again, because there are like relationship plots and stuff, but most of the plot is this. You don't get lost in what's happening because most of it is this. So really go watch this show, please. It's the best Spanish show ever. I cannot stress this any longer. And please do also subscribe, because if you're here at this point, you enjoy this content. Fair, you want to learn about Spain, about Spanish, let me know in the comments what video you want to see from me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!